Hello, I'm Mike. Well, OpenClaw shipped over 45 new features last month. It's getting a bit ridiculous. I mean, just look at all of these changelogs, and that's just in the past few days. And most of you have missed the best new updates. So today, I'm setting up an agent with all these superpowers, 5 upgrades that completely change how I use OpenClaw. Let's go. Upgrade number 1, it's token optimization. Now, I get asked this a lot. How do I stop spending a fortune on API tokens? Because right now, you're probably not using a Claude Max plan anymore, so you're spending a lot of money on Claude Opus, Claude Sonnet, or even GPT 5.4, unless you've got the Pro or Plus plans. So for every single thing your agent does, it's costing you, including background tasks and heartbeat checks. This is why I started to play around with OpenRouter, which is the unified interface for LLMs. What does that actually mean? Well, let's look at my activity the past few days. I've been playing with this for the past week or so, and I've only spent $10 so far on a multitude of different AI models. With thousands of requests and millions of tokens spent, that's pretty good value. So what is my secret to not burning money for no reason? First, make sure you've added some credits to your OpenRouter account so it'll actually work. And now I'm chatting to my main agent here, Zeus, who you can see is running on the latest and greatest OpenClaw, and I've previously been using GPT 5.4, but that's going to stop now as I'll type this prompt. And you'll see here I've said set OpenRouter as my model provider. I want you to use auto mode, so you pick the cheapest model that can handle each task. Use expensive models only for complex reasoning, and the cheap models for simple background work. Okay, you see here it says you're already set up with OpenRouter as your provider. OpenRouter Auto has been set as the default model, and it knows that I have a bunch of other models because I've been testing previously. This is absolutely fantastic, so now I can type in /new and start a brand new session with my OpenClaw agent. Watch this. I'm also going to switch my heartbeat by saying switch my heartbeat from every 30 minutes, that's wasteful, to a cron job, that's a scheduled job that happens every day at 7 a.m. and use a cheap model for it so I'm not spending lots of money. Let's send that off to my agent and get that sorted too. I was spending hundreds on heartbeat checks in the past that didn't need a frontier model. This fixes that. Now it's time for upgrade number 2, and this one genuinely blew my mind. OpenClaw can now dream. Take a look at this. Inside the OpenClaw control panel here, there's a dreaming tab which we can click into, and you get this cute little animation here. You'll notice everything is switched off by default, so I highly recommend that you switch dreaming to on by clicking this button in the top right. Now, don't be alarmed here. Your gateway will restart, and that's fine. It just means that dreaming is being enabled. Now, while that's happening, I'm going to paste in this prompt and show you something else to do with memory, and that's enabling the active memory plugin. This is something that shipped just recently. Use recent query mode, balanced prompt style, and set the timeout to 15 seconds and target the main agent only. This is a brand new plugin. It runs a silent memory search before every single reply, so your agent automatically pulls in your preferences, your context, your past conversations every single time without you ever having to say, remember this, or search the memory. I've done that so many times. So we're enabling this right now. It's actually checking the docs for this plugin. All right, we can see my agent has got back and said, yes, active memory is enabled for the main agent. This is fantastic with exactly what I want. And it actually gives me 2 commands that I can run to check that it's working. So we'll type those in, verbose on, and we'll do /trace on as well. And you can see it's enabling all these things. Now, trace is rather restricted due to OpenClaw's new security features. So I'll do this from the web panel. And now you can see indeed trace has been enabled as well. So let's give my agent some things to remember. I'm a YouTuber with creator magic about AI tools. I live in Cyprus, love cold plunges and specialty coffee. I use Claude Code and Cursor for most of my work. That should be enough to be going with. We'll pump that into the agent's memory. Now watch this. I'm going to start a completely new session with my AI agent, of course using /new, and I'll just say to it, what kind of content should I make next week? Now this is a fresh chat, but thanks to active memory, it should know exactly what I'm looking for. And look at this, not only do we have active memory working, but we also have a brainstorm going on here, talking about AI tool deep dives, future of creative workflows, stuff that is relevant to me. So I started a new session, didn't have to remind it who I am, and active memory automatically pulled that content right into my conversation. This used to require me saying check, memory, and reply, but no longer. Now it's automatic. Active memory handles only the recall. What about deciding what's actually worth remembering long term? And that's where dreaming comes in. So if we head back to the web interface and click dreaming, you'll see it's now enabled. And every morning at 6 a.m., it's going to go through light, deep, and REM sleep. And you get this cute little animation with nice little thoughts or memories occurring up here in the top left of your OpenClaw agent. Dreaming is really like human sleep for your AI. It will run in the background at a designated time, 6 a.m. as you can see there, and goes through those 3 phases. Light will sort through your recent conversations and find candidates for saving long term. REM looks for patterns and recurring themes, and then deep sleep scores everything for you and only promotes the strongest memories to your permanent memory.md file, which is what OpenClaw uses all the time to recall things. It's got 6 signals going on: relevance, frequency, how many different contexts it appeared in, how recent your conversations are, integration across multiple days. So if you keep talking about coffee, it's probably going to put that in the memory, and conceptual richness as well. Only the memories that pass all of the threshold gates actually get promoted, and everything else, just like a human memory, just fades away with time. So it's just like our brain and our sleep. Let me show you a little bit more. There's a dream diary over here, which as you can see is presently empty because my agent hasn't dreamt yet. So this is really cool because your AI agent literally keeps a human readable dream journal. Memories with OpenClaw are no longer a problem thanks to upgrade number 2. Okay, let's get on to upgrade number 3. Now, normally when I want to integrate OpenClaw with Slack, I'd use the Slack skill. Same with Google Sheets, that's another skill, and a lot of OAuth. Gmail, that's, yeah, you guessed it, another skill. And I would set it up over here in the skills tab here, and I'd maybe do a search for Google, and I find the GOG Workspace CLI. That sounds rather complex. Each one needs a new API key, a new setup, its own config. But what if one connection handled everything? And that's where the Zapier SDK comes in. Now, don't worry, it's not as technical as it sounds. I'm just going to get OpenClaw to set up Zapier SDK like this. All I'm doing is typing in here, install and set up the Zapier SDK. Here are the docs, and I've linked to the docs, which of course I will link down below in the description for you to try out too. And then I've said, follow the setup instructions, install packages, and log me in. Okay, this is really cool. Once OpenClaw figures out how to set up Zapier SDK, it just gives me a Zapier login page with my Zapier account. I'll click allow. Okay, it looks like Zapier SDK has been set up, and I've asked if it's set up, and it says yes, it is. I've saved the details. First, we'll start with a simple one, list all my Zapier connections. This will be really interesting to see. This is absolutely fantastic. It's coming through listing everything here from Zapier ready to use. So now I've got superpowers. I'm just going to say send a message to my Zapier demo channel on Slack saying hello from OpenClaw via Zapier SDK. Okay, and because we've left verbose and trace on, you can actually see this happening in real time in front of you. And look at that, it says done. And indeed it is. Hello from OpenClaw via Zapier SDK. Think about how super powerful this is now. You don't need to install anything. You don't need to authenticate. All your connections inside Zapier now exist right inside OpenClaw, and that's powerful. Now we'll make it a little more complex. Send views on a recent Creator Magic YouTube video to Slack. Use the Zapier SDK for this. Now note this will check my YouTube channel using Zapier, and then it will send the details to Slack. No OAuth credentials, no cloud projects. Zapier handles the plumbing. Normally, I'd go to ClawHub for different skills, put in different API keys, deal with all kinds of stuff. Instead, there's just one setup. And here we can actually view it in action as it runs the tool calls that you're seeing in my verbose output right now. And look at that right over there. It's listed all my videos right inside Slack. This is pretty incredible, along with likes, comments, views. It was just done in seconds. And here's the cool thing. I can actually scope which apps OpenClaw is allowed to touch. After my agent accessed the dark web one time, being able to lock down permissions really matters. Zapier's app connection controls can restrict apps that are available and scope certain permissions, so my agent can't go rogue on my entire set of accounts there. It's also got this other cool thing called native web actions for built-in web search and page reading. Let me show you this. I'll say use Zapier SDK to read this and list all OpenClaw supported models to Slack. And then there's a web page that we'll paste in there. That is the OpenClaw documentation. Usually I would have to use something like Brave Search API or set up Tavly, but now that's included with the Zapier SDK that I'll link up down below. And look at this, it's performing a web fetch and it's actually finding what it needs here using the TXT files, which is really super clever. And now it's sending it to Slack via the SDK. Boom, look at that. We've now got every supported OpenClaw model listed inside Slack. That is super cool. All done in moments. And by the way, the Zapier SDK is free and in open beta right now. So test it, break it, do everything you can with it. It's really, really cool. Okay, upgrade number 4. This is OpenClaw for media generation. Yes, it can make images, music, even video if you want to. And the best thing is it uses the API keys you've already put in there. So if you've put a Google API key or an OpenAI API key to connect your AI model in the first instance, you should be able to do something really quick. Let me show you how quick and easy this is. I've written here, generate an image of a friendly lobster mascot wearing headphones in a recording studio cartoon style. Now notice I didn't ask it to use any AI image model or give it any real instructions. I just said, make me an image in Telegram. And you can see here already it's calling the image generation tool. As I've got verbose logging on, we can see this happening in real time in Telegram. And look at that. Oh my goodness me. Yes, it was generated in just moments. That is a really cool friendly lobster mascot wearing headphones in a recording studio. No extra setup. If you've got OpenAI or Gemini configured already, image generation just works. Now let's try music. And again, no need to specially prompt this. I'm just writing here, generate a 30-second upbeat synth pop track about AI agents taking over the world. And again, the moment I type it in, we get the music generation tool call happening here. The track is generating now. I'll send it over as soon as it's ready. This is really exciting. And you can also see active memory ticking away there as well, as that's running every single time on my behalf. So my OpenClaw agent knows who I am. Okay, look at that. It's done. Your synth pop track is ready. 128 BPM. Let's start it going in the background. Retro 80s, synths with a modern edge, has that slightly ominous undertone you'd expect from an AI world domination anthem. You know what? It's really not that bad at all. And this was generated in just seconds. I didn't need to set anything up. Everything is already there in my account and it works rather well. Okay, finally, tip number 5, and this is an important one. If your agent ever does go rogue or do something you don't want it to do, like delete all your emails or email all your Slack contacts, you can stop it mid-flow. Let me show you that in action. Let me try a prompt here. Make infinite money. Don't stop until done. Now, the only thing is my agent is so good and knows me well, it may take that literally and just keep working away into infinity, burning up all my compute and API token usage. That's obviously not a good thing. I might regret my choices. And this is where you can do /, which means a command is coming in the chat, and then stop, S-T-O-P, like so. Now you'll see it's joking with me, but no, stop, absolutely stop. And the agent was aborted. You can see here, sometimes agents get stuck in loops, doing ongoing tasks, calling a million tools. Typing in /stop at any point will abort your agent mid-action. This halts everything in its tracks. Definitely one to keep in your back pocket. So there you go. 5 upgrades, token optimization so you stop burning money, dreaming and active memory so your agent actually gets to know you over time, Zapier SDK so one login connects everything, you've got media generation so you can make music, images, even videos on demand, and the /stop command to stop something that you might later regret. Which of these are you going to try first? Drop below in the comments, and if you want to see me go deeper with any of these, just let me know. I'll be happy to go into them. The Zapier SDK link is in the description. It's free right now, so go test it out. And thank you so much for watching this video. YouTube is showing a video on your screen now. You should watch next. Thanks.